Once upon a time, in a remote village nestled between dense forests and shadowy mountains, there stood an old, decrepit house that had long been whispered about by the locals. The villagers claimed that the house was haunted by malevolent spirits, and its dark history had cast a perpetual pall over the entire village. One day, a daring adventurer named Alex, known for seeking out supernatural mysteries, heard about the infamous haunted house. Driven by an insatiable curiosity and a desire for thrill, Alex decided to investigate the eerie abode. Armed with a flashlight and a camera, Alex entered the village under the cover of night. The air was thick with an otherworldly stillness as Alex approached the haunted house. The wooden boards creaked under each cautious step, and the wind whispered ancient secrets through the broken windows. As Alex crossed the threshold, an unsettling feeling settled in the pit of the stomach. Inside, the atmosphere was suffocating, and the darkness seemed to have a life of its own. Faint whispers echoed through the halls, and distant footsteps echoed in the empty rooms. Alex pressed on, determined to unravel the mysteries that shrouded the house in a veil of fear. Suddenly, a cold breeze swept through the corridor, extinguishing Alex's flashlight. Panic set in as the darkness enveloped everything. Fumbling for a backup light source, Alex heard disembodied voices, each one telling a tale of despair and tragedy. Shadows danced on the walls, taking on grotesque forms that seemed to reach out for their intruder. As Alex explored further, a chilling realization dawned. The spirits within the house were not dormant. They were aware of the intruder and were determined to make their presence known. Unseen hands brushed against Alex's skin, and ghastly apparitions materialized in the corners of each room. In a desperate attempt to escape, Alex stumbled upon a hidden chamber in the heart of the house. The room was adorned with faded portraits, each capturing the tormented faces of those who had once lived there. The malevolent energy in the room intensified, and the walls seemed to close in. Terrified, Alex retraced the steps, only to find that the once familiar corridors had transformed into a labyrinth of nightmares. The spirits toyed with Alex's perception, leading to a disorienting and maddening experience. Haunted by the tortured souls within, Alex struggled to find an exit. The house itself seemed to be a living entity, shifting and contorting to keep its secrets hidden. As the night wore on, the line between the living and the dead blurred, and Alex's sanity hung by a thread. In the pre-dawn silence, the village awoke to the distant sounds of anguished screams. The haunted house stood ominously in the center, its dark secret safeguarded by the spirits within. The villagers, knowing better than to meddle with the supernatural, continued to avoid the cursed dwelling, leaving it to the ghosts that called it home. And so, the old house in the remote village remained a silent witness to the horror that unfolded within its walls, awaiting the next unsuspecting soul to cross its threshold and become entwined with the malevolent spirits that dwelled within.